is Gideon, it's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about the worst season in MyTEAM history finally coming to an end. Now, to do this, guys, I'm going to take a scroll through my YouTube channel just to see the content, quote-unquote content, we saw this season and how it cannot get any worse than what we saw this season. Like, again, I mean that from me being just completely honest with you. I've done MyTEAM content creation for 4 years now. I think that's right, since what, 2K20? And this is by far and away the worst season we have ever seen. So, obviously, starting with the Wild West set, and we're gonna go from there. Now, look, I'm not trying to be one to just hate on MyTEAM. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it work in the MyTEAM scene, guys. I'm trying to, man. It's not easy, but that's what I'm trying to do. But man, we've got to take a look at what we really saw this season. So we started with the Wild West set, which was followed by the All-Star set. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and hate on the Wild West set. It was what it was. But again, it was all behind gambling. At least in that, we saw Leonard Miller. But notice how many gameplays I did. Notice, okay? I did one of Zion, and that's really it. And then obviously Donovan Mitchell, which was a locker code. The locker code was decent, but that's really all I could do. Like, normally on Friday content, I'll do a ton of gameplays. I couldn't even do any really gameplays. Nobody spent squad series. Obviously, nobody really even cares about that anymore either. But that's all my videos. Nobody spent. Because what else was I supposed to do? Tier list did pretty good right there. And then we saw the Troydan situation, man. He opened 1,800 packs and didn't see one 100 overall. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. Just crazy ridiculous. It should have been illegal, honestly, for what he had to do. Tier list obviously went crazy, honestly, as we are going here. We saw Pink Diamond T-Mac for what, 35,000 VC. It was what it was. He wasn't that bad. And then obviously Austin Reeves. I mean, literally, Austin Reeves was so good, and he still is so good. And I maybe wouldn't have hated on the Austin Reeves grind if I'd have known he would be the best point guard in the game for the entire season. But the fact of the matter was, he was like a 15-hour grind. Just a ridiculous grind for Austin Reeves, which was just unattainable. And then, you know, until they changed it, he was only available for what? A week? And then they changed it to 2 weeks. After they changed it to 2 weeks, it really was fine. But again, that's really the content. The content really this season was it really was the rush set. That's about it. Rush sets really ran the game. Obviously, you guys can see my Nobody Spent squad series again, back to back right there. And then they tried giving us a Levine for 100,000 MT when you literally could buy Levine and sell him for with the same thing. Just literally losing 100,000 MT just really made no sense. Then we saw that leap year set was coming, all behind gambling once again. And I think this is really when we started to see like what was happening with the game, like gambling after gambling after gambling. Then obviously the new leap year cards, $75 to gamble for a Galaxy Opal. Like, you don't need, it's not even an option pack, you gamble for it. It just was bad. Mono became available, he was fine, but again, probably not even worth it. Chris Middleton did a gameplay on him, he was absolutely hooping, but then the MT is worthless video. Still to this day, that's one of the main points I try to make to people is, like, MT right now is literally worthless. What are you doing with your MT right now? 2K wants to say, oh, well, you got the most, we're making it available to have the most MT ever, but what is it doing for you? Absolutely nothing. Just absolutely drives me crazy. And then obviously, you know, MPJ came out, he was solid, I got him. And then 2K finally took a W. The James Worthy grind was so easy. You got Markelle Fultz along the way, who was really good. Even Victor Oladipo was fine. If you'd have grinded just that James Worthy rush set by itself, you'd have had a really good squad. Just from top to bottom. Went back and played at 2K23. That was fun. More fun than I was having on 2K24 at the time. Coop was fine. Fultz obviously was really solid. James Worthy was a beast. And then the promo packs. Then they started releasing promo packs. I think they did it from the start of the season for 45,000 VC. Like, think about that. That is a lot of money. That's like $15 per pack you open for a chance at a Galaxy Opal. it was just really, really sad. Obviously, did a gameplay of Sidney Moncrief. It was fine. Then they wanted to make this Steph Curry discounted. Again, you could have bought that Curry, sold them back for that exact same price. Then MJ came, and guess what? Another set all behind gambling, guys. And I dropped this video. You are the problem, because I got so fed up. I'm like, you know what, guys? At this stage, if you're opening packs, if you're spending money on the game, you are the problem. I can go back and look at my receipts, and I know since that All-Star drop, which happened, what, at this stage, 7 weeks ago, I do believe, maybe 6 weeks ago, I have not spent money. So I'm not the problem. You are the problem if you're opening packs. Drop that video, which is so valid. Franz was very, very good. I'm glad they finally gave us a decent guy right there. But again, you guys can see. Then Troydan spent $10,000 total before pulling a Michael Jordan. He had to spend $10,000 before pulling his first 100 overall card, which was a Michael Jordan. Obviously was really, really good, but even like you can see this video, don't fall for the trap. You can't fall for the trap of needing one of the Galaxy Opals, because again, your chance of pulling a Galaxy Opal was 2%, and then you might have gotten a bad Galaxy Opal. It just wasn't really worth your time. And then we saw the domination. The Moments domination was fine. I couldn't really hate on that. It was okay. Granger was horrible, man. As far as a rush set, the Granger set was just ridiculous. Just not worth really anything at all. Top 100 cards. Did that video. And then you guys saw another day of MyTEAM promo packs. 2K hiding everything behind VC only. Then they finally gave us a Michael Beasley card. Now, the reason I got so hype about Michael Beasley was, number one, that was the first time you could purchase Beasley for MT. Like, before that, it was packs only. So for the first time in a long time, we actually got something good, something worth something MT-wise. Beasley's obviously very good for that price. Played Carlo. And then another gambling drop with the Maestro set. 2K Buckets came back, gave us a little content. But the problem with 2K Buckets is he made it seem like, oh, 2K is doing nothing wrong. It's the best time to ever be no money spent. And you know what, 2K Buckets? For the early stages of 2K24 MyTEAM, I agree it was the best time to be no money spent. But for now, obviously not the case. Shooting guard tier list. They talked about they talked about how there's no MyTEAM or March Madness content, which we really didn't get March Madness content. I know people are gonna say, oh, but Ty, 2K, they're just gonna try to say something about, oh, they dropped Tyler Hansbrough last week. We really didn't get March Madness content, especially like the free side of it. We have seen some free March Madness content in the past. Didn't really see anything from there. They dropped Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to my maybe worst video of all time, doing my March Madness bracket, which was an absolute travesty this year. That was just horrible. But you guys can see more tier lists. 2K Next Maker started to make take a stand. Uncle Demi a little bit. Then they dropped Kevin Durant. 100,000 MT, just not worth it. Then they continued. They switched to dropping Dark Matters, and even those were all behind gambling. Less than 2% chance to pull a Dark Matter, less than 2% chance to pull 100 overall. Continuing to do it. They dropped Dynamic Duos, but all of them were worthless. Tyrese Thomas was absolutely fantastic, but then they dropped this March Madness set, or they ignored March Madness, first of all, and then they dropped March Madness sets, and it was just kind of worthless. Dennis Rodman's 6-hour grind was too long, in my opinion. He was an easy guy to get, though. Like, Dennis Rodman was easy to get. It just kind of, in my opinion, was a little bit too long. And I dropped the video on April 5th, guys. That's in 3 days. That's going to really determine everything about what's to come, honestly. Like, the Easter event I thought was decently solid, but that's where we're at right now. And honestly, I can't hate on anything, right? With where we're at right now. I've hated all video. At this stage, I can't hate on anything more until we see what comes Friday. If Friday is or Thursday in the league, if all we see is gambling again, this season 6 is just as cooked as season 7. Maybe my worst season of all time for where my YouTube channel was at and should be at. Worst season of all time, not only for me, but for the entire MyTEAM community. I mean, again, I can't hate on anything else. Even when I did my season 6 prediction video, I had to go about it in a way different manner because I can't even predict what we're going to see. I just predicted, are we going to see gambling? Are we going to see non-gambling? What tiers are we going to see for specific cards? Because at this stage, 2K has lost their marbles. They've lost it, man. They've lost the community, and they need to do something to get it back. The single worst season of MyTEAM I have ever experienced. I uploaded probably throughout this season, I don't know, 150, 200 videos. And trust me, it was one of the most painful things I've ever had to do, ever. So I'm hoping season 6 is a massive step in the right direction. Finally, this season has came to an end. Finally. It was way too long. Felt like forever. 2 days left. Finally done with season 5. The worst season in MyTEAM history. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are doing it. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.